Greetings. Is Loki evil, or is he a madkont who likes to troll? That is the question I know you all have been waiting to hear the answer to. So, first and foremost, we need to correctly identify the fact that in Norse mythology there isn't really a pure good and pure evil as you have in the more desert-like religions, so to speak. And this, in my humble opinion at least, stems from the fact that Germanic people aren't particularly evil. You can see and hear these unenlightened mortals talk about how Germans are evil, but if you have spent more than a few days in Germany, you realize that they are probably the kindest people of all time. Same goes for Swedish people. And I'm not saying that the Vikings and the Germans have always been good boys who didn't do nothing, but it is not evil people, the Germanic people. It is, in my humble view, very nice and kind-hearted individuals. Now, on to my own juicy guns. No, okay, I will try to abstain from my narcissism in this video. Anyway, my interpretation of Loki growing up with the Norse mythology stories as a merry lad was that Loki was someone who made mistakes, made silly, stupid things, but he always had to pay the price for it. But he was still part of the gods, so to speak, even if he was the black sheep of the family. So, for example, cutting Thor's wife's hair of gold, that's not necessarily an evil thing to do. It's an unnecessary trollish thing to do, which is obviously not recommendable to do, but it's not evil in the same sort of way as the devil in Christian mythology. So the point with this video is that the translation between the devil in Christian mythology and Loki in Norse mythology, it's two completely different things, and it's a very bad comparison indeed. So in my view, Loki, yeah, a mad cunt who likes to troll, not an evil individual, and not an individual or a god who is pure evil, but someone who is a bit mischievous and likes to do this sort of things. So yeah, and obviously, there's a quick note on Marvel. I think Marvel is an abomination that I want to disavow, but one thing I do like with Marvel is how they portray Loki, because he is a bit more charismatic and a bit more likable in that sort of way, instead of a, you know, sinister, brooding character who's just out to actively hurt people. So that is at least my take on Loki as a god, or as an entity, or as an archetype. So if you want to incorporate the teachings of Loki into your life, it's more about being a bit trollish, a bit mischievous, and these sort of things can have its place in the metapolitical crusade, for example, when you troll with leftists, etc. But it shouldn't be mean-spirited in that sort of way, in my humble opinion at least. So to conclude, the way I view Loki, and others might have different opinions, but this is just how I view it, is someone who is still on the side of the gods, or in the community, so to speak, but he makes a lot of trouble that he then has to pay the price for. Now, speaking of another thing, another topic in regards to Norse mythology, and actually about Thor. Now, there are two versions of Thor, which I find equally glorious. So you have the OG Thor, the original, the way I viewed him when I was a merry lad at least, and that is red beard, red hair, a bit more hench, a bit more bulk bra. And then you have the 19th century romantic Thor, and I mean romantic as in national romanticism, where he is shaven, blonde hair, and a bit more classic physique. So that is the two different Thors. I don't think one is more glorious than the other, but there is two different aspects of them. One is a bit more adventurous and heroic looking, the blonde shredded one, and one is a bit more I don't know, powerlifting and strongman oriented. So I just wanted to put it out there as well, that so when people call me Thor, it's the 19th century version of Thor. But in my view, I still view Thor perhaps a bit more as red hair, red beard, etc., and being a general mad cunt. So anyway, that was just some ramblings from the Library of Wisdom. And who am I? I'm the chosen of the gods, XXO.